was with another key point that we tried to challenge, is that being a fan in Russia is something that inherently means being a far-right person, like clashing with police, with like other people, etc. We tried to challenge these notions, saying that, look, you can be more or less educated person, you can speak several foreign languages, you can be widely respected in the world and still be a CSK fan. But of course, we should be very careful and not exaggerate what we are doing. But I can say that with the huge help of club, this is important, because when they openly supported us in 2014, when they said that, look, we are behind these guys, we support establishment of such initiative, we were creating something different and something that were attractive to people who were tired of the dirt at our stands. And now this is very interesting that we became, you know, like a small NGO inside the club, and when a fan is getting a cold hamburger, now he's writing us and saying that, look guys, this is a thing happening. And this is fantastic, that we really care about respect and support from our larger fan base. This is very valuable for us. But again, we tried on a daily basis, drop by drop, to remind our fans, to remind to people of the country that lost 28 million of its citizens in war against Nazis, that we cannot tolerate anything like that at our stadia, that we cannot tolerate people celebrating and praising some neo-Nazi banners and singing white power or something like that.
But what was the impact? It really made people change their mind or behavior?
We should divide this question into two parts. Those people from the other side, let's say from the right side, at first they were laughing like, who are these guys? Like, they're establishing anti-racist initiative, like, ha, come on, like, we know who are behind us and that we will be dominating this stance. What we were really surprised, if not to say shocked, is the amount of support we received after our open call at one of the Russian websites. Like, there were literally hundreds of emails with photos, with support, saying that, look, we are against it, we don't want to see that at our stadium. And the impact now, the important thing here is to underline, let's not generalize this fan base of CSK fans. There are amazing people. And what is important, it's CSK fans against racism. But in our initiative, we have one key thing. We don't have to be against something all the time. And they know when these people, our fans, our ultras, are creating some performances that cover 20,000 of fans, we are the first to post about it, to praise them. When they are helping an orphanage, we are the ones who donate our money and who send our money. When they are asking for any help for the performances and careers, we send them our money. Because we say that, look, you can be far right, far left, centrist, whatever you are. The moment you come to the stadium, just leave your political prejudices behind and leave your one identity, which is CSK fans, while you are at the stadium. Because we cannot accept them wearing Che Guevara shirts, you know? It's impossible for a person who is 20 or 25 to change immediately his political views. But we have a consensus that let's unite around something that we really care about. We are criticizing, however, we have one core rule as well. While criticizing, just propose something else. That's why we proposed an action plan to Alexei Smertin, the anti-discrimination officer, saying that, look, step by step, these are the things we believe, what we learned from our friends in Europe, because we are members of Football Supporters Europe and very actively participating in anti-discrimination work there. We try to propose. We are very critical about the work of the club with the fans, and we propose another action list that we believe is very nice. So it's very hard to think from what to where we came, but let's not exaggerate that. It's all together, like, interestingly just evaluating in an interesting story that probably I will be with a huge pleasure telling to my grandchildren, hopefully, that I have one day.
So how is it functioning within the club?
Yeah, I think even for the club itself, it was a bit unexpected with the level of support from the fans that we got, and respect from others. And of course, one important thing, the way the media started to write about us. And we really care about this thing that some of journalists say that, look, if something happens in Russia regarding racism, the first place where we go is your Facebook page or Twitter to learn what's the reality, you know? And this is also important to understand, that because Russian people think that Western journalists come here for only negative stories. Whatever happens in this country, they report only the negative content. With our initiative, we were able, I believe at this point, to say that, look guys, no, when you do something good, they are ready to write about that as well. In their own maybe context sometimes, but this was important. Like when we appear on CNN, BBC, Guardian, like we have this respect from other journalists. But turning to the original question, we have, like, kind of jokingly, we say advisory board of our initiative of 12 people that we come together, we discuss on which things. A, what are the proposals that can be made to the club to make the situation better with the fan work, with something like that. Of course, secondly, those people, our members, sit in different parts of the stadium, and we are monitoring the stadium about banners, chants, everything that is happening. And then when something dirty appears, we immediately report that, and they know. The guys who try to do something, they know that. The second they do that, the whole world will know that, because, like, again, paradoxically, our Twitter account, our Facebook page is followed by all mainstream media in the world. And this is something we care about. But thirdly, for some reasons, we became like a national, like on the national level active as well. I've said to you, we are coming together not only for CSK, but for Russia as well. I have already mentioned about our action plan to Mr. Smertin, and it took us very long to bring all these things together to propose something solid, because we believe in change. But lastly, just with our fantastic friend and a person who always supported, with German ex-CEO of Football Supporters Europe, Daniela Wurfs, we went to the point when we took part in an action plan for the sports authorities in Russia. And we were asked by the Human Rights Commissioner of the United Nations to develop this plan. And we presented this plan on May 31st. So we tried to be active, but again, let's not exaggerate our influence. Our first aim is our CSKA, and then we can speak on Russian level or national level. But it might be too optimistic and too brave to say, but CSK today is very, very different from CSK that was 4 years ago. We want to believe that we have a very, very small impact in that. And it's a huge pleasure to say that in last 4 years there were like 2 or 3 incidents regarding far right at our stadium. Last season, 0 incidents. We traveled all over Europe and we were given as an exemplary fans, traveling abroad, singing, hugging police, etc., etc. It's very, very huge source of pride, because our fans, again, for those who don't know, who are not into this issue, these people create amazing atmosphere at the stadium. These people create amazing performances and careers and everything at the stadium. Let's not belittle them. And if they are racists or fascists, well, let's try, even if it seems something unacceptable for us, speak to them, understand them, because believe me, after 4 years of active conversation, you understand that they have a reason, they have their own pain, they have their own mind reason for being like that. And when you start to challenge these ideas, when you start to bring something alternative, when you don't call them all the time racists, fascists, it helps the case. This is important to understand while speaking about fan base in general and the problem of far right.
What are the goals? What is the dream? Both for CSKA fans against racism, but also for Russia as a country and as a football community.
The dream is to have full stadium of CSKA fans at every game, supporting the team, supporting each other, having this feeling of red-blue family, and not thinking that there might appear a racist banner or a racist chant at the stands. I believe that we might achieve that at some day. Maybe not me, but my children will see these bright days. We are now in a very good comparative moment of our history, but that's the dream, and it dares to think about that. In terms of Russian football community, I do hope this World Cup will be a unique chance for our society to understand power of football. I heard their pain and I tried to transfer this pain in all my interviews, saying that, look, just give this country a chance. Just hear its country's pain of being disrespected and misrepresented. So when you go to your countries, I dream of a healthy and constructive discussion about the outcomes and about future of our football in terms of understanding what can be done and what should be altogether discussed to make this country even better from where it is now, because we have certain problems. We cannot play 3 monkeys. We just need people who want a real change. And I dream of families coming all together to our stadiums and enjoying football that made us all coming here and having probably the happiest and the brightest time since modern Russia, since the dissolution of the Soviet Union. I have never seen these people so happy. I have never seen these nations so proud. And I have never seen this nation welcoming and just going out of itself to show its ability and readiness for the dialogue.